Assalamualaikum. My name is Anis Inshira binti Azamri from the Chemical Engineering Department at University Technology Petronas. Today, we're gonna talk about the Buncefield Oil Depot exploration. This is a team members, consists of 5 members. For introductions, every day, we rely on the fuel, plastics, and countless other products. And all of these come from the petrochemical industry, which store a huge amount of a dangerous liquid and gases under the intense pressure. The material used in this industry are highly flammable, can create invisible danger. If a leak happens, the gas can form a heavy cloud that hugs the ground. This cloud can easily catch fire or explode, causing the catastrophic events like a massive fire, toxic release, and vapor cloud explosions. Just one mistake, one faulty pieces of equipment, or one unexpected leak can lead to the disaster. That's why advanced computer modeling and planning are important to predict what could happen and how to prevent it. In December 2005, at the Buncefield oil storage depot in the UK, a disaster occurred. It became the largest space-time fire in Europe. The explosion was powerful. It was spread 10 kilometers away. Over 20 massive storage tanks were destroyed. The consequences were devastating for people. 40 people were injured. For the environment, the fire burned for days. Millions of contaminated water used to fight the fire leaked into the ground. For the community, over 700 homes and businesses were damaged. So, how did this happen? It was a change of failures. First, a faulty gauge. The incident started because a few tanks was being filled. A faulty gauge means the operator didn't know how full the tank really was. As a result, they overfilled it. For the second, it a massive leak because it was an overfill. The gasoline began to overflow. It poured out of a vents on the roof and cascaded down on the side of the tank like a waterfall. Over a short period, 300 tons of petrol spilled onto the ground. The third is the invisible cloud. As a gasoline fell and evaporate, it created a huge flammable vapor cloud. This cloud was enormous, covering an area the size of the 20 football fields and reaching 7 meters deep in a place. It was a ticking time bomb. The fourth is the catastrophic explosions. At around 6 a.m., the invisible cloud found the sources of ignitions, which are possible from a generator. That result explosions was on the most powerful ever recorded in Europe. The last is the firestorm. The explosion was followed by the numerous fires that engulfed the entire depot and sealed its fate. That's all from my part. Now I will pass it to my team member.
Hi, my name is Nurin Darsha and I will explain about the simulation setup and methodology used in the study. So this study used gas risk curve and effect software to simulate the Buncefield oil depot incident, which focused on the vapor cloud explosion and pool fire involving gasoline. So to closely represent the actual incident, the model was set up using a flammable mass of 20,000 kilograms, an ambient pressure of 1.015 bar and curve 7, which represent a strong deflagration. The simulation also assumed to be constant weather condition, flat terrain, and winter condition with an ambient temperature of 7 degrees Celsius to ensure consistent result. After setting up all input values, the gasoline properties, storage tank details, and release condition were entered into the software. The software then analyzed the effect of the vapor cloud explosion and the pool fire, and finally it produced results such as a blast overpressure, individual risk control, and the possible impact on people, nearby building, and the surrounding area.
Hi, my name is Amshana Juan. Now I will begin the hazard identification for our gasoline storage tank scenario. The initiating event considered in this study is tank overfilling. So when the storage tank is overfilled, the gasoline escapes from the tank and spreads over the surrounding area. So since gasoline is highly volatile, it evaporates rapidly and forms a large flammable vapor cloud around the ground. So as this vapor cloud travels through the facility, it passes around process equipment, pipe racks, and also buildings. So these obstacles create congestion and turbulence, causing the flame to accelerate if an ignition source is present. So instead of producing only a flash fire, the flame can rapidly develop into a vapor cloud explosion or VCE. So the explosion becomes more severe if the vapor accumulates in partially confined areas, such as between storage tanks or inside pump houses. So in these locations, pressure builds up before ignition, so resulting in a much stronger blast wave. The expected consequences include damage or collapse of nearby process equipment, glass breakage or flying debris, and a high risk of fatality for personnel located close to the explosion. So after identifying this hazard, we evaluated its impact using the consequences analysis. So using the gas cone effects, we simulated the vapor cloud explosion to determine the blast overpressure and the affected area. So the simulation shows that the blast overpressure reaches approximately 100 millibar within the first 100 meters, which is sufficient to cause severe structural damage. As the distance increased, the overpressure decreased around 100 millibar at approximately 400 to 500 meters. At this level, windows may shatter and flying glass can cause injuries. And beyond 1 kilometer, the blast overpressure becomes minimal. So based on standard vulnerability criteria, an overpressure of 500 millibar can lead to total structural collapse, while 100 millibar is capable of causing glass breakage and injuries from the flying debris. So, therefore, the highest hazard zone is concentrated close to the storage tank, with the severity reducing as the distance increases. Besides understanding the consequences, it is also important to evaluate the overall risk to people and the surrounding area. So the risk analysis combines both the likelihood of the accident and the severity of its consequences. So the individual risk controls shows that the highest risk is concentrated around the gasoline storage tank, and the risk gradually decreases with increasing distance. So however, the outer risk controls extend beyond the facility boundary, indicating that neighboring areas could also be affected during a major accident. So the frequency analysis also shows that the vapor cloud explosion risk remains relatively constant up to about 220 meters, while the pool fire risk decreases more rapidly within approximately 26 to 52 meters. So in conclusion, the study demonstrates that preventing tank overfilling, controlling emission sources, and maintaining adequate safety distance are essential to reducing both the consequences and overall risk of a gasoline vapor cloud explosion. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Udina Shamimi binti Ali Aswandi, and I will explain about the discussion of impacts and consequences. Based on the simulation results, the Buncefield explosion could have serious impacts on personnel, the environment, and also surrounding facilities. Personnel exposed to high thermal radiation and blast overpressure may suffer severe burns, injuries, or fatalities. Flying debris and structural collapse also increase the risk to both workers and emergency responders. Environmentally, the fire releases smoke and combustion gases that reduce air quality, while fuel spills and firefighting runoff may contaminate nearby soil and water. The explosion can also damage storage tanks, pipelines, nearby buildings, roads, and also utility services, leading to production shutdown and significant economic losses. However, these results are based on assumed weather condition and release scenarios. Human behavior, emergency response, and cascading failures are not fully presented, so the actual consequences may differ from the predicted result.
Hi, I'm Prakadana. Next, I will discuss the risk mitigation and safety recommendations for the Buncefield incident. First, an independent high-level alarm, or IHLA, should be installed to provide a separate level switch from the main gauge and automatically stop the pump when the tank reaches a critical level to prevent overfilling. Second, an overfill prevention system, or OPS, should be implemented to automatically close the inlet valve and initiate emergency shutdown without relying on operator intervention. Finally, process safety management should be strengthened through hazard identification, management of change, and effective incident reporting to prevent similar accidents in the Next, the key lesson from this incident is that even a small equipment failure can escalate into a major disaster. Multiple layers of protection are necessary because a single safeguard is not enough. Organizations must learn from past incidents, monitor leading safety indicators, and maintain continuous attention to process safety in design, operation, maintenance, and management.